Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am your host, the one they call Glaze Gibbs. Look at this. Beyond lucky. I am indeed beyond lucky. I am the chosen one of the chosen one. I am blessed right now because once again, I am still alive. I am still here to tell my story. Today, what I'm gonna speak about or whatever, I'm gonna speak about a story. And the story that I'm gonna speak about is this right here. You see what it say? Look what it say. The story of Lanny Dillard, A.K.L.D. You know, that's the story I'm speaking about. Here it is right now is, that's me, and that's Lanny right there. Good brother. Here it is right now. That's us again. When we used to charter buses. We used to charter like buses to go upstate. I'm saying get private driver just to take me and L. We the only two on the bus to go see this guy. I'm saying period. So it's a deep story. You know, once again, like I said, here come L again, GQ. I'm saying fly guy. L probably was like what, 6'3", 6'4". Here's again. Me and L and Rick Martin. That was in Elmira. That was the last visit that me and L, like, you know, that's probably one of the last times that me and L actually was together before I went on the run. You know, here it is again. Me, L, Jesus. And right now, right there in front of his building in Cypress Hill, houses. That's years ago. Once again, you see L standing next to me, Jesus bending down. That's us again, me and L. I'm talking about we got a long history. I think we went, let me see, Auburn or Elmira to visit Rick Martin. You know, me and L, you know what I'm saying, like got a hell of a history, man. Like a hell of a relationship. It didn't always started out that way, but sometime right now, once again, it's not how a relationship started. It's how a relationship, you know, continued, how it be. Like I can remember right now when I first moved to Cypress Hill houses back in 1975. I was like 12 years old. So you move from one neighborhood to another neighborhood. And you know what? Here it is. A lot of people, they don't know me. You know, I'm new. I'm the new guy. You know what I'm saying? Period. Me and my family, we knew in that particular area. So, you know, right now was when I was 12, I guess L was about what, 15, 16. Anyway, a few years later, as I got into the hustling, and I had a buddy back in Bed-Stuy named Melvin, may his soul rest in peace. Melvin used to get me like Melvin used to get me Pumas. He used to had a hookup, and he used to get me boxes of Pumas. So he used to get me Pumas at a hell of a price. So he used to give me like brand new Pumas. And back then, everybody loved Pumas, Puma Clyde. And he used to give me brand new box of Puma leather, white white and white, white and black, gold and black. Like he's blue and white, which was Clyde. All like I'm talking about, like that was like highly fashionable back then. And right now was, I think Puma back then in the store was going for like back in let me see, like 75, 76, 77. It probably was going for like, you know, $40, which was a pretty penny for us being a kid. So I'm 14 years old. I'm in a project, and you know, like I used to go to Bed-Stuy, get my little sneaker stash, come back, and I used to sell it to the other older dudes in the projects. So I can remember one time in particular, it was like a pair of gold and black pair of Pumas, you know, and it was a big size, like size 12 or 13. And L wanted it. It was a big guy named Ant. Ant didn't live in Cypress, but Ant used to hang out in Cypress. He had a sister. Her name was Yvette. And let me see, she had a baby by this guy, you know what I'm saying, named Tony. But they was cool, and they was affiliated with my man Domino family. So anyway, like, you know, Ant wanted the black and gold, you know what I'm saying, Pumas, and L wanted the black and gold Pumas. So they got into a beef about that. First of all, like I told you right now, these guys, like I said, L was like 6'3", 6'4". Tony, like I said right now, Ant was probably, like you say, 6'4", 6'5". But he was just bigger, like solid, muscle bound. L was always slender or whatever. So they got into a beef, you know what I'm saying, over the gold and black Pumas, because both of them wanted. But from my understanding, not knowing at the time, you know, they was going to try to beat me for the pair of sneakers anyway. So they got into a big fight. And when they got into the big fight or whatever, you know what I'm saying, fighting for the sneakers or whatever, you know, I can't say who won, who lost, because that was like many years ago. But I know automatically right now is I didn't get beat for my sneakers, but that was their intention. They was going to beat the kid, you know, because I was a young guy. I was a new guy. Basically, I was what they call a sucker. So they was going to beat me. Despite we live in the same area, they didn't care. Nobody didn't care back then. They was going to beat me for a pair, you know what I'm saying, Pumas. $35, $40, despite our family all living that project, they didn't care. They was gonna take advantage of me. But anyway, long story short, as time went on, and I guess when you start gaining your respect in a neighborhood, you know, people look at you differently. So eventually, as time went on, you know, me and LD wound up becoming good friends. We started hanging out with one another. I spent a lot of time at his, apartment, with his mom's. You know what I'm saying? Miss Dillard, man, so rest in peace, Miss Tina. I'm talking about, you talking about a heart as pure as gold. Miss Tina was an angel. I'm talking about she took care or helped anybody that she could have helped. You know, all his friends, guess what? Everybody loved, and Cypress loved Miss Tina. Then you had his sister Doreen. Then you had my girl Monique. You know what I'm saying, man, so rest in peace and the spirit be lifted. And, you know, we used to hang out there, whether it's party or whatever the situation may be. We used to hang out there. We used to always go up there to L House to meet up or whatever. And, you know, as time went on, I can remember, like, you know, we had this little robbery crew. Everybody in Cypress right now is, you know, we want that fast money. So nobody was in the drug back then. So this is like the late 70s, early 80s. Everybody was in the stick up, or we thought we was like stick up kids, or whatever you want to call it. Robbing people for radios, robbing people for their jewelry, robbing people for money, anything that we can rob them for. You know, that's what we was into. Robbing, sticking up people, or burglarizing, breaking into people's apartment or whatever. And I can remember, like, you know, I caught several cases. And L had, a cousin, and that was my man. And he used to get in a lot of trouble or whatever. And I can remember one time, L, was saying, like, y'all guys, man, y'all keep doing all this knucklehead stuff. One thing about it, when y'all go upstate New York to do your, state time, y'all gotta have a hell of a crew, because a bunch of y'all gonna be up there or whatever. L got smart, he went into the military. And, he got away from us. Or that's what he thought. He thought he got away from us. And he went into the military. And holy behold, he went in there, and he didn't last long. He got some type of discharge. I don't know whether it's honorable or dishonorable, but he got discharged from the military. But he was smart enough to think about it. Like, look, if I stay in here, what's going to happen? And he wasn't what you call your typical street guy. He was always smart. And what he always credited that to, because his teaching, his upbringing from his mother and father, but also he used to say right now is, I'm smart because he read a lot of comic book. He was into the comic book back then. So even as you sit back and you think about it, like with him, he was just one of those cool guys or whatever. Like everybody look up to, I'm talking about the ladies love him, you know what I'm saying? The guys, like I told you right now, is we want to, I guess right now, be like him or whatever. But, as time went on, what wound up happening, I got my first bid. I went away, did 3.5 years. His cousin went away with me, and we became closer. Me and the family became closer, because when we was in there, me and his cousin, we became like this. If he was around me, nothing was gonna happen to him on my watch around him or whatever. Now, like I said right now, 3.5 years later, when I come home, everybody getting to, from the robbery game, everybody getting to the drug game. And one thing about L, for some reason, he was always, how can I say that, had that mindset, how to make money, how to make fast money, right now was as less violence as possible. So that's what he did. He wound up getting into the game. And what he did was, he put me down with him. He put me down with a spot. The spot was on, he put me down with a spot. The spot was on Marion Hopkinson, a gold mine. And he put me down with that sucker. I'm talking about that sucker was doing great. But the difference is, he had me down, he had his old timer Moochie down, and his two cousins, Val and Greg. They owned the building. So he had us all down. So you got basically 4 to 5 main guy, strong personality. And we used to go at it, man. We used to go at it about any and every little thing, man. Every time you look around, it was a big argument. So to me, like this went on for quite some time that after a few months, I say later for that. Because once again, y'all friends. What the sense you and your friend going at it over what? I'm talking about right now is you know y'all gonna get into bad blood over money, over drugs, over trying to make money. And it wasn't really L, it was his family. Because once again, his family, like these guys, Greg and Val, no disrespect, but they was some real live country bunking. But guess what? We needed them because it was their building. So the difference is right now is, guess what? Here it is, if anybody go, this their building. You know, we could have took the building, but how can you take the building? Then I got to go against L because you got to do something to his family member. And that wasn't happening. That wasn't a good luck. So sometime right now it was all money and good money that we had to step off. And that's what I did. I wound up stepping off, getting to my own stuff. But I'm going to read an excerpt from my book. In 1985, I hooked back up with Moochie from the Nut Hut on a drug spot. Moochie, LD, along with myself and a few others, became business partner on a drug spot on Marion Street. LD originally had the spot and he brought me in, and we was purchasing our cocaine from Moochie on a small level. Moochie presented an opportunity where he would give us kilos of cocaine on consignment and be our partner. Okay, it was a win-win situation. However, eventually a problem arose. Too many chief, not enough Indian. We argue all the time when bagging up the drug and especially when splitting up the money. Any little problem we disagree on that reach a point that eventually I could have murdered one or two of my partners if I didn't leave. At 21 years old, I walk away from one of the most money-making drug spots in Brooklyn at the time. Trust me, it hurt my pocket, but it saved some friend lives. You know what? And that's what I'm trying to say. All money is not good money, and that's what people got to understand. So the difference is right now is, despite L brung me in and put me down, the difference is right now we had the same philosophy, but his cousin didn't. They was a little older than us, but it was their building. So what can I do? So the best thing what I could do, I stepped off or whatever. So as I stepped off, I got into my stuff. L, continued to do what he did. And right now is, guess what? We went our separate ways, but we were still friends. I can remember a scenario. Whereas, like I said, we used to hang out a lot. Right now, sometime, I'm talking about because we grew up together. Anytime somebody want to go out to the night on Apollo, go to the garage, club down in mid-Manhattan, or we want to go to Apollo Theater, wherever we want to go. Like I said, we meet up. And then we, get together as a group, as a whole, as family, go hang out together to party, to have a good time. Keep in mind, I didn't get high, I didn't drink, I didn't do none of that stuff or whatever. But the difference was they loved hanging out with me because, once again, when we was out and about, I was on my P's and Q's, and they knew I had this certain persona about myself that, guess what? Everything was about security. Everything is about, watching everything and everyone. Everything about keep my guards up and not let nobody sneak up on us, not let nobody take advantage of us, making sure the same way we went out together, making sure all of those that went out with us came home. So he knew that, and he knew how to utilize that. One time we was out and about, we was at the Apollo Theater. I think it was at a Run DMC concert or whatever. We out there having a good time, run up to the stage or whatever. We just having fun. When we left from out of there, guess what? It was a bunch of cats from Brooklyn, I think Bedford-Stuyvesant section. The war was out because all of us, from me, L, Jesus, all of us, the crew, they had on neck full. So these guys, like I said right now, guess what? They're hungry. They wolves. We look like free meal or like a free lunch, free dinner. We got their, right now, their rent money, they, food money, their shopping money. We got their car payment. We got all that stuff on our neck, and they wanted it because we look like money. So here it is, like it was a group, like a little small army, surrounded us. And when they surrounded us, Corey said they wanted to get us. And right now, it's like L was always like the hype man. He knew what to get me. And I'm like, yo, man, these dudes must be don't know who the hell we are. And L just like right there, just fed off of that. He knew how to push my button. He knew what he needed to do to bring out what I need to bring out to make sure these guys understand who I was, what I was, and what I once represented at the time. And he said, right now, I said, yo, man, he said, who? I say, Amazing Glaze from East New York. He said, who? I said, Amazing Glaze from East New York. Now, all of a sudden, right now, is we put on a little show. Now, all these guys coming up to me, yo, Glaze, come on, man, you my man. You don't remember me from here. You don't remember me from there. You don't remember we did a bid together, whatever. So that's what I'm saying. That's L. L gonna seize a moment. L gonna seize a moment that we're not in control to make sure that, guess what? We have control. Why? Because he always think. He always think outside of the box. And that's who made L who he was, man. Like I told you right now is, from my knowledge, from my ability, never been to jail. Never did a bid. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still regards what? Highly intelligent individual. You know, right now is, had a hell of a crew, made a lot of money, but he stayed away from that violence. Not saying right now is, guess what? If it came his way, he wouldn't be able to handle it, but he always used this. He always knew right now is a hustler. And that's what he told me when I got into the game. You know what I'm saying? Period. A hustler can't hustle with a gun in his hand. So I can't be hustling drugs, selling drugs with a gun in my hand. So that was his lesson. Like, he always used to try to school me on different things. Even with the fact when I went away and I caught the murder charge, and right now I was in the fight of my life, he helped secure my freedom. He helped bring me home. And even right now is, once I got acquitted after laying up 13 months, 17 days, you know what happened? Me and his sister, me and his young sister, Monique, we had this love-hate relationship. We got into a big dispute. And right now we got into a big argument, you know, words and certain things was said. And when it was said, you know, right now is like, I kind of lost it. Because once again, folks, you got to keep in mind, I was a sick individual. I was a lost soul. And right now was, I was on a high that here it is, I was guilty, supposed to have been put away and got sentenced when I went to trial and found guilty and get, 25 life. But now here it is, I'm guilty, went to trial, got acquitted for the charge that I was guilty of. I came home. And right now is like, I supposed to, gave L all the prop in the world because he helped me. But yet and still what I did was, me and his sister got into a, misunderstanding, and I went off. And right now is, guess what? His mindset is thinking like, man, my man just came home and he's off his rocker. You know what I'm saying? Right now is, he's gone. I think that time that he just spent in there, whatever, is like, he's traumatized. So he, like right now, not knowing, like, don't get me wrong, that's his sister. He's supposed to protect him. Who am I? Despite I'm his man, that's his sister. He's going to have her back over my back. So the difference is right now, like, I didn't know it at the time, but months later, like I say right now, once I came back down to earth, once I got my senses, a month later, what wound up happening, right, we start hanging out more and we start talking more. And he just pulled me aside. I said, yo, man, I really want to talk to you, but I don't know how you're going to take it. I said, what you mean you don't know how I'm going to take it, man? You're my man. You can tell me anything. He said, man, when you got acquitted in June 87 and you came out, you was acting crazy, man. Right now you was like in left field. And we didn't know, I didn't know. Then you and my sister got into this disagreement. And right now, hold up, I couldn't let that stand. He says, so me and some other individual conspired to murder you. Me and some other guys conspired to kill you. And I'm only telling you this because I didn't thought we was going to be this cool again or whatever. So here it is right now, folks. Somebody just got finished telling you they conspire with others to kill you. And to me, like my mindset and just like I tell you, my mental state at that time, when he told me that, and my response was, honestly speaking, like a lot of times, like if I was normal, I probably would have been bothered with that. I probably would have been offended by that. But right now, when your friend, I'm telling you that he conspired with others to kill you. And the sad part about it was like this, I laughed. I'm talking about like, ha, 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 ha. Like the fat lady in Coney Island. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Anybody that grew up in Brooklyn or grew up in New York City out of 5 boroughs and went to Coney Island and seen as a kid, or, as you get older, everybody go to Coney Island. It's a big lady as you enter that park. You know what I'm saying? This big, she's in this big, like, platform, this big tube. And that's what she's doing, like a phone.